success on the live action here. How about camera? Whew. Looks like we got a camera too. Holy, things are going smoothly. I don't even understand. How is this possible? I got a few people already hanging out with us here. We got Alejandro. Let's see. Is this working? This is working. Got Alejandro. We got Chronically Online. How are you? If you're watching, you better hit that like. I like the way that Chronically Online is thinking. If you can hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. And Chronically Online, let's see. Dare you to play that new ADTR track. Not sure what ADTR is, but maybe you can spell it out for me, and maybe if it's a Bandcamp thing, we can play it. Rough Riffs says, happy weekend. Hope all are doing well. I reduced the size of the text in the comment, this comment on screen thing, comment highlight, so as it not to get cut off, I'm hoping. So we'll see how it goes throughout the evening. But yeah, if you're thinking, oh, it's kind of small. Well, that's why. I'd rather get it all on there than it get cut off. It was getting cut off before. And Alejandro says, oh, hey, it's the Bunn. Yes, it's me. How are you, Alejandro? I hope all is well. And Cathedral Sound, how are you? And Yune, thank goodness, Mr. Bunn, my cereal was getting soggy. Eat it up quick. I used to like certain cereals slightly soggy. Life brand cereal. Mikey, he likes it. I liked that one with a slight sog. Road Bull says, what's up? Or sup? Shorthand. And Street Rat saying, hey, Alejandro, get your snacks, everyone. Yeah, I got my AHA, what is it? Lime, watermelon, soda water. So if you don't have snacks, at least get those drinks lined up. And Araxis says, what's good, bandless people? I'm at Cryo. Your face looks just like that Bunn guy. Awesome. Yeah, it's me. A day to remember. If I so dare, maybe we'll play a day to remember tune. Not local, just another heavy hitter band that's now in their Saint Anger phase. The Saint Anger phase, the dreaded Saint Anger phase. So I hope they're happy. Alejandro says the comments are perfectly sized. Perfect. That is a perfect affirmation of the text size of the comments. Thank you, Alejandro. Synth Chris, whoa, guys, in our excitement, let's not forget to like this video. Whoa, I love all the prompts to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. The Bandless channel is a very small channel. In some ways, I really like that it's a small channel because it's a lot more personal. A lot more intimate, a lot more personal. We only live stream on this channel for the most part. There are a few uploads from the past. Not saying that there won't be uploads in the future of produced videos, maybe, not sure. But for the time being, it's a live streaming channel. And for those of you who are new to this whole bandless world, we tend to focus on solo creators, full stack creators, meaning people like myself, like Synth Chris, like many of the people in the comment feed, as well as most of the artists that we're going to take a listen to tonight, take a preview of tonight. Mostly full stack solo music artists. I don't really have the best terminology to describe it, but I think that does a decent job. And something that should be said is, even though that's the focus, these solo makers, it can be bands as well. Like, we're not opposed to bands. We just tend to celebrate the the very DIY, very self-produced, self-directed, and kind of inspire each other through, listening, giving each other time for each other's music and conversation and all of that kind of stuff, for the purpose to, raise everything up. Nothing gets better if it's all in a vacuum, right? Or nothing grows if it's all in a vacuum. So that's what's going on with the Bandless Fridays. It happens on the first Friday of every single month. Generally speaking, I think we usually skip July because, July 1st in Canada is the Canada Day weekend celebration, and July 5th in the United States, usually the same weekend is, a big to-do. It depends kind of how it falls, but I think last year I skipped the July show. But I don't know. We'll play it by ear. How about that? But usually it's the first Friday of every month. Submitting your music. Most people tend to do that through the Bandless Discord. I'm going to drop that link. Don't switch. I do not want to stream into the Bandless community. Bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to grab that link. Server settings, invite. Where is it? Oh, invite people. Second one from the top. And edit the invite link. This link will expire in 6 hours. And generate a new link code. Great. Copy. Wonderful. And let's go to our cool, what do you call it? Comments? It's not comments. Chat. It's the chat. Bam. There we go. I'm going to paste that in the chat. This is the Discord link. And so if you'd like to participate in these Bandless Fridays, first Friday of every month, typically it lines up with Bandcamp Friday. However, Bandcamp Friday is on hiatus for the summer of 2024 and will return in September. But that doesn't mean we can't still do our thing, because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hearing what people are doing and the conversation. We tend to get into cool things that most people I know in my life don't want to talk about. So if you'd like to submit tracks and participate, you can do it via the Bandless Discord. That's an invite for the next 6 hours if you're not a member. I do not really use Discord very much other than for once a month. I go and I promote. I'm not a fan of the platform. I don't like the way it works. It's very hard for me to follow the threads, the threading hierarchy of it. I find impossible. I don't know if it's got to do with my neurodivergency or whatever, but it makes me a little bit crazy. So I don't really hang out on Discord very much, if almost ever. But I do grab the links every month from there, whatever links might be there, as well as you can send me an email, which is scott@thebunn.ca. Bam. And if you're going to send me links for Bandless Fridays, do it close to the event, the first Friday of every month. Don't send it to me 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance, because the likelihood of me missing it on the day is very likely, very high likelihood of that. This is a very, 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 very simple operation. I'm the only person. And yeah, all of that. So with all that said, and I guess for anybody new who might be wanting to know how the actual stream itself functions, what to expect for the evening. It's not a radio show, and some people, I think, coming into it cold might expect that. We only listen to previews, about a minute per song, and then I share the links of the things that we've previewed to the chat. And it's up to you to kind of copy and paste those, or copy and save those to follow up with whatever you find interesting after the fact. And the whole purpose of this is not just to buy music. Some people are kind of amiss with this idea. This is also for the purpose of connecting with other musicians, other artists. So if you hear an artist, see an artist, something about an artist that you're jazzed about and you'd like to get involved or know more or converse with them or whatever, most of these people, as far as I know, are pretty great people. So don't be shy. Reach out. If you do reach out to people, give them an idea of where you're coming from. Hi, so-and-so. I saw you on the Bandless stream. I really like your music. I am this person. This is why I'm reaching out to you. I find sometimes I hear back from people in negative ways saying that they've reached out to someone and they maybe didn't format their message in a very helpful or friendly way. Not intentionally. They weren't intentionally being not friendly. Some people are just maybe too enthusiastic too quickly and fail to craft a more thoughtful first message. So just a disclaimer there, just because I don't want to get involved. Sometimes people try to pull me back into it. Oh, this person, didn't respond to me or whatever. Sometimes also people just don't respond. They're like, who knows what's going on in other people's lives. Life is busy. So that's how everything works, what this is, all that kind of stuff. If people come in during the stream and are showing that they don't really understand, it's totally okay as stream participants in the chat to, bring people up to speed. Try and do it in the nicest way you can, be patient and helpful. It's just a better way to live. But we got a few more comments, then we're going to get into it tonight. We got quite a few tracks. I wasn't actually expecting as many tracks this month because there was no official Bandcamp Friday, but there's just as many tracks as usual, maybe even one or two more than usual. So there you go. A few more comments and then we're going to get into it. So Hogsplitter says, what's up, everyone? Happy Bandcamp Friday. It's not officially Bandcamp Friday. It's Bandless Friday. Bandless on Bandcamp Friday. Just to be clear, so if anybody purchases on Bandcamp for the next 3 months, there is no Bandcamp Fridays, and it's the regular sort of distribution of funds. So Bandcamp takes their cut and all that kind of stuff. There will be this month, Juneteenth, I think it's June 19th weekend, which will be the Friday around the 19th. And Bandcamp donates everything that they make to charities. I don't know if they're going to do it this year, but you can look into that if you'd like to. And that's in the middle of the month. Anyhow, Marauder Music says, what's up, folks? Synth Chris says, Discord is kind of weird, man. Yeah, I find it very difficult to use Discord. Like I just open it and I'm like instantly overwhelmed. I'm like, where do I start? And there's all these notifications and it's like the threads, like they don't thread. Really, that's pretty much it. I feel like they could help it so much if it just threaded like normal, like Facebook groups, or I guess just Facebook comments, or pretty much any comments on the internet. So yeah, Threading would be nice. Chronically Online says, next time I promise to have my music project off the ground. It's called TK421. It's entirely AI using a Mark Hamill voice clone to cover Dua Lipa songs. I wonder, how is copyright addressed if AI is doing a cover? That's an interesting idea. Is it copyright infringement if it is a non-person? Very interesting. Marauder is also very curious about what's going on there. Alejandro says, just a heads up, my tracks under save rooms are only about a minute long each, so you may need to preview only a few seconds. Oh no, I still preview a minute. I do about a minute for every song. And sometimes I get carried away and I preview a minute 12. But Marauder Music says, I live a live bandless radio stream show of artists who presented on bandless radio station. Just thinking out loud, that actually might be fun. Let me think about that. It would just be kind of like a actual late night radio show. Maybe not. We'll see. An AI Casey Kasem can host it. Casey Kasem, right? I should have known that. I grew up with Casey Kasem. Chronicon, as you can tell, I'm still working on your posted question on how we get people to care about Dua Lipa for the greater good. Yeah, now I have no shade towards Dua Lipa. I just use Dua Lipa as an example for the greater sort of pop manufacturing, mainstream pop manufacturing world. Marauder Music says, I have a new track that I could have thrown plugins at and dropped this week, but on this one, taking my time, will drop next week. Another song that my vocalist Zanzi and I wrote. Sweet. Yeah, don't rush your tracks. I'm not rushing any tracks anymore. I used to kind of rush more. I try to be busy every day, on music, but yeah, don't rush your tracks. There's no good reason to. And I think in this world of AI, there's more appreciation now for music that's really actually made by people. And if people do a better job, the best job that they possibly can, which takes time to make those tracks, hopefully it'll be always better and more inventive or more interesting than most AI. It's just my take on it. We'll see. A few more comments, then we're going to get into the first one. What do we got here? 819. Development of Void. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. The Bunn, he says. What did I just hear? Oh, geez. I have the wrong headphones on. Those are my wireless headphones for my cell phone. To listen to podcasts and tunes and all that kind of stuff. Gnarl Antlers. Pretty excited and nervous at the same time right now. Get into it. All right, so we're going to get to the very first jam here, Clear, Save Rooms. And we're going to do... save room. We're going to do save rooms. Save rooms is the first thing on. So there's no particular order to this. This is in the order that I opened them. And as you can see, how's my little circle here? My little circle window. And so first our artist is Alejandro, and it's, or Alex. And the first tune we're going to play is... I think I chose Mind Prison. I think I gave a little preview to most of the tracks today. I usually don't, but today I had the time and I did it. And yeah, so I think we're going to start with this one. Let's go. Sick. I just let it play because it's just barely over a minute to the end. I like the way that that's constructed. I really enjoyed that. It's that heavy hardcore thing, but it sounds like its own thing. One of the things that lately I've been on a big Knocked Loose tear, and I've been listening, mostly watching like cell phone live footage of Knocked Loose because it's fun watching the crowd run at each other. But it's kind of taken me down the sort of heavy hardcore rabbit hole. And it's very easy for a lot of bands in that world to just kind of fall into that sound, fall into a sound that is sort of difficult to make this thing out from this thing, et cetera, unless you're really, really, really familiar with the genre. And then some bands really stick out more than others for various reasons. Either it's the vocal style or the way that it's put together, or, there's a bunch of reasons why. But anyhow, this, it sticks out in a couple different ways that are interesting. Like the way that the music is crafted is a little bit more interesting than, it sticks out. It's like it's got artistic bits to it. It's not just totally generic hardcore. And I don't think there's anything wrong with totally generic hardcore. Like, what does that even mean? Like, we could have a lengthy discussion on what that even means. It's not a dig on any of it, but like I say, it's just very easy to blend in that world. And it seems like maybe even some people, they want to blend in. They want to do the thing that someone else is already doing. But this does not do that. This has its own sound. And I really appreciate that because I think it's difficult. I think it's really hard to achieve that in this sound. So you got that going. The name also sticks out, Save Rooms. It's, I don't know. It's just really different. It's cool. Yeah. And this isn't a review, by the way. Some people are like, oh, is this like a, music critic kind of thing? If you're new to this stream. No, it's not at all. There's no criticism going on here whatsoever. This is just like sharing enthusiasm for what's going on and maybe starting off the conversation or whatever. I'm not looking for people to agree with me either. Like if other people don't like things, that's perfectly fine. If other people see it a completely different way than I see it, that's completely fine. We're not here to all agree. We're not here to all, also not here to fight. So it's just, get into some stuff, check it out. And yeah, that was cool. It's cool. That's a cool project. So, yeah, I'm excited to hear more from this project. Let's see what the community's saying. Marauder Music is saying that groove. Let's go to the big camera. Yeah, is groovy. It starts punching air. Yeah. Like I say, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos of like big hardcore shows lately, and there's a lot of air punching. I just love it. I want to see it. That's all I want to see. Development of Void likes the mix. Road Bull likes the deathcore vibes. Marauder says that the groove is there even in the breaks. Marauder Pantera vibes. Cathedral sound heavy. Bunn has got the bob going too. Yeah, totally. It was totally groovy. Nar Antlers, dang, that was good. Yeah, it was awesome. It was sick. Good track to kick off with. Road Bull says snare sounder rad. Sounded okay. And Development of Void, generic is a good place to start. I think that's a great point in terms of just the pursuit of music in general. Like, you have to start somewhere. When I started making music, at many phases, like every time I set out to do something new again, I kind of started at the beginning, and it was very generic at the beginning of each project. So yeah, that's a great point. James is saying, I like the album cover, very Billy Talent. Yeah, it is actually. Interesting. James, you are you a Canadian? You know about that Billy Talent thing? Or is Billy Talent blowing up elsewhere? I think they're big in Europe as well. Marauder, groove, it has groove. I miss dime. Nar Antler says, tell you what, I dig me some Trapped Under Ice and Speed right now. If that counts as generic hardcore. I love that stuff. Yeah, Speed is awesome. It's not always, I think people often get caught up in, so musicians, depending on who you talk to, people are going to come at it from a different point of view. And it's hard to tell where people are coming from when they talk about things. So a lot of my friends, they're really artistic. And so when they talk about music, they talk about music as being like, how artistic is it? How inventive is it? How creative is it? And they might not be saying that outright, but like what they're talking about is like aligned with those values and those perceptions. And it fails to recognize that many people like a lot of things for way different reasons. Like, for instance, I like pop punk. So I really like 90s, No Effects, Lagwagon, Propaganda, etc. And you can easily say that music became extremely generic. When it sort of popped off, it was a new sound. And those first three bands, like Strung Out, Lagwagon, No Effects, and Propaganda, their first albums were quite inventive. But as everything moved along, it was very difficult for everyone to keep reinventing the wheel, and it became very generic. Not always, but often. And I don't care. I just want to hear that. Like, I don't care how generic it is. And even like I listen to some new bands doing it. I'm like, I just like that sound. So I like when I hear new sounds in it too. Like, I like that. But like, you don't have to like something just because it's like hella creative, and there's no reason to not like something because it's generic. So yeah, it's like I said, there's a big conversation there. Around this whole idea of generic. I think it's a term that maybe gets misused or maybe carries unnecessary negative baggage. Maybe sometimes it's a negative concept, but I don't think it always has to be. Anyhow, we're going to move on. Gain is reset. And we've got, what do we got here? Oh, I got to do this part. Bam, clear. I couldn't see my, is it on screen or off screen? I can't see the buttons. Too many things on screen. Here we go. And so down to the circle. This here is deceive, defeat, delete. And it's good. And I think quite a few. Let's just take a quick look at. Yeah, quite a few. So if you another thing to consider if you like some of these artists is most of them, a lot of them have multiple releases on their pages. You know, take a listen through. Sometimes the earlier material is like really compelling. Like when it was a lot rawer or, coming from a completely different angle. So yeah, anyhow, deceive, defeat, delete. This is M4GP 13. Another banger, mega banger. Did I put it in there already? I did. Wow. Absolutely banging. I see, whatchamacallit? I don't know what I'm missing here in the comments. I'm not going to dwell heavily in the comments every single time just because there's a limited amount of time and quite a few tracks to get through, but I am going to go through a little bit. James Weed says he is Canadian, so he's talking, when he's talking about Billy Talent, he's native. He's talking from firsthand experience. And Marauder is saying, I see a fancy Italian high gain amp lurking in the Bunn studio. Yeah. It's, there's quite a few fancy amps in here right now. I don't own all of them, just so you know. I'm not a rich guy. Uni, I've been thinking about that red amp since the last stream. Yeah, it's Mezza Barba is the company, and it's a sort of reimagining of the Massotti brand, which is another Italian amp making company. I'm not going to play it, but if you're curious as to what it sounds like a very, very, very hot JCM 800. So if you play Slayer, South of Heaven, or Slayer, like even Rain and Blood, whatever, like anything off of those albums, it's like instant Slayer tone. It does a little bit more than that, but that's the essence of the amp. It's extremely aggressive. And yeah, interesting. Anyway, what do we got here? Bam. There we go. Here we go. Marauder Music is saying, Dan, guys, you guys are slamming tonight. Yeah, very, very slamming tonight. Development Void is saying, nice, cool album title as well. Yes. Nar Antlers is saying, so good. And the sound of an SM SM7 begging for mercy, Marauder Music is saying. And Cathedral Sound, oh, Fuge. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. We will, I think a lot of the stuff tonight is heavy, but we will cover a little bit of ground outside of heavy. For those of you who might be new to the stream, we don't always do super heavy. Like whatever kind of music you play. Could be college rock, could be ambient, could be synthwave, it could be drum and bass. We're not, we're not a heavy thing. Like I make heavy music and I like heavy music, but I like all kinds of music and we play all kinds of stuff on here. So if you're a maker of other things and you're like, oh man, they only play heavy stuff. No, if you're making stuff and you want to share it, we do other stuff other than heavy. So coming up next here, resetting the gain. We got Black Zen Instruction by The Air Turned to Acid. And this is, pals, Richard Rapper, Dr. Rapper, or Michael Rapper. He juggles his names around, but Dr. Rapper in the house, doomy, gnarly, heavy. Gonna play track 3 tonight, Pinstripe Gray with Party Welts. And we played a fuzz teaser, very fuzzy teaser a couple months ago, if anybody remembers. But anyhow, The Air Turned to Acid, here we go. Like it. Gnarly. It has like way more of that punk energy to it. It's like heavy, like it's got the heaviness of metal, but it's the energy is 100% like punk influenced. It's gnarly. I like it. Very cool. Dr. Michael Rapper. And we got Ava in the house. No worries. You're not late at all. We're actually, I think, only 3 tracks in so far. Marauder's saying, love the space. The sound is in open yet tight. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like clinical or anything like that, but it is like punching, like everything's lined up and it's like smashing your face. And I dig that. Has a sick growl. Definitely has a sick growl. And the room is part of the track. Yeah. Yes. You still have everything. Great vibe. Yeah. It does have room tone, which is sadly missing in a lot of music. It's hard to get it. If you're recording by yourself at a desk like I do and like many of us do, room tone is kind of tough to come by. I'm doing some experiments though to kind of get around that. And if I learn anything interesting. I will report. Anyway, we are moving along, resetting the gain to, bam, let's go, 7. 7 seems to be the magic number today. Yeah, 7.2, 7, somewhere around there. And what do we got? We got, bam. Okay. So I believe this just came out today. Our buddy Manavath, our buddy from Argentina, Mr. Lucas Weisbrod. And this is a collaborative project that he did. Like, this is Manavath, but it's with Berstinko. Berstinko? Not sure how you pronounce his name exactly. I apologize, Bear, if I'm ruining it terribly. But yeah, it's a project that he did. Let's see here. Which one was I going to do? I think I was going to do haiku. Or, yeah. So he released 2 within, so May 9th. And so after Bandcamp Friday last week, and he released this one today. And this came out, yeah, today, June 7th. So we'll play a track off of this one. I don't want to play both. But just so you know, there's a lot of Manavath going, both collaborative projects with Berstinko. And Manavath, always interesting, always different. Usually do me. Let's see. It explores a lot of terrain. So I feel like this is an unfair sample. But yeah, you should definitely check it out. Did I put it? Return to acid. Here we go. You can check it out yourself. There's a bunch of tracks here. I feel like anything I do is not going to really do it justice in terms of playing a sample. So take a listen. It's really well done. It's very dark. It's just very different. It's not going to be for everyone, I imagine, but that's the case for all music, you know? It's like everything is for somebody and nothing is for everyone. It's just a fact of life. Take the good, you take the bad, you put them together, yeah, you have the facts of life. And bam, Il Nacho, there we go. Okay, this one is gonna be nutty. I'm just gonna get into this right away. I actually shouldn't set it up the way that I'm setting it up here, but this is, new to me. Inanimate, and from Houston, Texas, metalcore project. So, instruments by Christopher and vocals by Kenny Flores. And the whatchamacallit. So it's not like a one-man project, but it's a very condensed project. And Kenny's, been in and around the fold for a long time. And my quick preview of it earlier was just like, whoa. But you can decide for yourself. I ruined it. I hyped it all up, and you're like, oh, it's not playing. We can't hear it. A good thing I caught it. Here we go. Yeah, doesn't really matter. It will still crush. So heavy. It's like unbelievable. The immense weight of it is just unbelievable. For some reason, I'm getting this very extremely long URL. I'm not sure why. I'm going to paste it in there. But bear with me. Maybe it will truncate itself. It won't even let me paste it. It's too long. So this is what I'm going to do. Inanimate. Here we go. I got it. Perfect. Got it nice and short. And Ava says, drums are killer. Yeah, they're definitely killer. Synth Chris, everything about this is massive. Yeah. The guitar is just slaying. Yeah. Tight, crisp chugs for such a low tuning. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's so heavy. Crazy. When I took a preview of it before, and I was just like, whoa. This is very, very heavy. Anyhow, we're going to move on to the next one. Link is in there. Unbelievable. Hope you guys dug that one. Hope I didn't blow your faces off. It's just so heavy. And bam, bam, bam. Let's see. We got to do some resetting here. But got the C920 circle. This is from Ava. And I'm just getting the gain up here to 7.1. So the project is called Resolve. Grueling over the tarmac that so long forgotten you. And here we go. Cool tones, cool riffing, like cool feels to those riffs, and get it in there. And as I said, been experimenting. Might turn this into a full project and get the Kaz on it. Yeah, you should totally do that. Get him to play drums on it. That would be cool. Or whatever. Yeah, just get more humans, you know, contributing, expanding the vibes, the soundscape, the sound. What is it called? The sound stage. I think that's what I think people say, the sound stage, when they mean like the sort of the instrumental depth of it. Like physical depth, not like perceptual depth, like, you know, the instruments involved and how they interact and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think you should get the Kaz going on there if the Kaz is available. I think the Kaz is sleeping right now because... he's usually in the stream, but you know, it's very, very late over there. I think usually the next day. What do we got here? What do we got? Volume. 7. Great. We are set to go. We're going to go for another one, and then we're going to hang out. What do we got? We got 2 more. Got 2 more to go here, not 8:53. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to hang out that long, but that's okay. Here we go. Whoa, a little premature there. Whoa, this is how you do it. This is how you fully reset it. You got to refresh the page. So this here is Flynn's Ego. This is the Audacity Lord, Lord of Audacity, and you know, Flynn's Ego, or Flynn, I guess he has alter egos. He's got Flynn's Ego, and then he's got Flynn, then he's got Lamont Sutherland. But Lamont is a multi-instrumentalist from Scotland, UK, no stranger to the stream. And this is his submission for this month. And we always like them. No surprise. The Lamond. He's such a I think he just kind of puts little doodles together for this every month, just for this, because they're always like about a minute long and like perfect length. Cool. Very weird, very groovy, very fun. Love that kick sound. Kick sound was like, you know, on top of just like the feel and the vibe and all that kind of stuff. Like the kick sound, just when it kicks in, you know, at the beginning, how it has the lead up, and all of a sudden that giant kick comes in. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, cool project. He's always doing something cool. I think he's assembling like a full record as we speak, like all the material that he's been working on over the past year that he's stored up. I haven't got to talk to him, you know, at length for a bit now, but I think that's what's going on. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I shouldn't speak for him. I'm not his agent. What do we got here? C920. Let's reset things. We'll go back. And bam. Bear with me here. Okay. I just need to double check something here in my, let's go. Bam. Bam. In my account, and okay. Oh, give me a break. Great. And one last little. There we go. Okay, great. And bear with me. We're almost there, I swear. Bam and bam. And the thing about running all the technology by yourself, you know, it's just difficult. And direct. Okay, there we go. Ow. Okay. Okay. Why can't I find these things? I seem to be... Whoa. Okay, great. And I got it, I swear. What happened? I got it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I need to switch it over here. Good thing that wasn't all on screen. Maybe that was on screen. Maybe like watching me search for things was probably terrible. Anyhow, this one here is from my buddy Peter and Pitar from Serbia. He is a multi-instrumentalist, do it all kind of guy, does it all himself. And he just released this April 3rd. So not super new, but it didn't. He and I, we talk on occasion, but I guess we haven't talked recent enough, and I just didn't know that this was had happened when it did. But it's pretty recent, and then I was reminded of it today. So we're going to take a listen to Nordstrom. It's a pretty fun track, and our gain is reset. Great. And bam. Very cool. Very cool riffs in that. I don't know if did I do Flinzigo? I did. Great. And let's go here. Great. I just don't want to forget any links. Okay, I got them all. Great. Bam. So yeah, groovy riffs, very whatchamacallit. Since Chris is like, this is super fun, but the riffs still go very hard. Yeah. I like where he's going. Like there's just a whole bunch of things sort of woven into his music that I find quite interesting. And I think he's, not because he's living in Serbia, but I think just the way he does things, he kind of just does his own thing. Like he's kind of intentionally isolated from what everyone else is doing, and he's just doing it his own way. It's cool. And got some kind of emo type chords with a sick groove. I dig. Yeah. Anything that isn't just fifths, I tend to like it. And Chris says, this is awesome. Yeah. Who's taking off? Oh, Marauder's taking off. Have to run. Okay. Have a good night, monsieur. And where are we here? We're still on this. Bam. Have a very good night. Ava says, hey, Scott, do you think writing minute-long songs can be listened to as like a 10, 12-minute record could work? Since Bandcamp has gapless play, I think this could make my music more digestible. I don't know. Honestly, I think especially now, more than ever, the thing to do is whatever you can dream up. Everyone's going to tell you like how to do it and what the best move is. And I think like with this introduction of AI, and AI can make music in 1 second, full songs. It's questionable where they're getting the material from. I'm pretty sure it's trained on music you've already heard. And the people that it's trained on aren't getting any compensation for it, but that's a different story. Anyways, because of AI, what it says for us as artists is celebrate the whatever factor, celebrate the artistic factor, celebrate the like gratuitous creativity. You know, make a 12-hour long album. I don't know. make 1 minute long songs and make 100 of them. I don't know. Do it the way that you want to do it. That you have like, if you have like a hunch towards something, I think it's better to explore the hunch than to not. In terms of doing singles over albums, I think do whatever you think makes sense for what you want to achieve. I think the only thing to look out for is, you know, to be maybe stubborn about something specific. And it's like, I want to do things this way, and then to expect a result of a certain nature that is typically the result of something else. You know, I see that quite a bit. I talk to enough people about that sort of thing frequently enough. So that's the only thing to maybe look out for. But even that, like, I don't know, maybe that's the experience that you need to have. If that happens to be your experience. We live in a weird time. All the rules are gone. All of the tactics, none of the tactics are better than others for any given project. They're all a case-by-case basis. It's like, who's the listener, and how does the listener like to enjoy their music? How do they like to find their music? How do they like to enjoy it? All that kind of stuff. And so the trick with that one, I don't know if I've covered this maybe on Bandless before, but I think this is worthy of talking about, is if you're thinking about putting your music out there and you'd like to build an audience and all that kind of stuff, and you're having a difficulty, you're like, oh, I got to think about, because you'll run into this a lot. You'll run into this idea of who's the audience? Who's it for? And a lot of people choke up and they can't really answer that question. But it's actually a pretty easy question to answer if your number one listener is you. So if you're intentionally making music that you want to hear, then looking for people, like asking the question, like, who else might be interested in this? And whether it be to meet, to find other people to play music with, or to just release to a listenership, or to play shows and, promote shows to, whatever the case may be, like, who's the listener? What do they do and where do they hang out? If you're making music and you are the number one listener because you're trying to satisfy something in music that you're not getting from elsewhere, then it's a lot easier. I wouldn't say it's really easy. Nothing's really easy. But it's a lot easier to go about it that way. I think this is what you're doing. But like thinking about digestibility and all that kind of stuff, it's like, what do you like? And where do people like you, people with your music tastes, your fashion sense, your like things that are sort of culture driven, where do people like you in relationship to this kind of music hang out? What do they do? How do they discover music? How do they like to listen to music? All that kind of stuff. And then once you know that, then you kind of know what kind of work to do. It's really helpful in terms of not spending a lot of time in places where maybe you don't need to spend a lot of time. Like for me, my audience is not on TikTok. They just aren't. Could I forge maybe new audience on TikTok? I could. But I'm going to focus on places where people like me already hang out first. Give me a second. I got to do a BRB. Be right back. All right, friends, let's go back here. Artie has arrived, and we are going to drink beer. I'm going to drink cheater beers, fake beers. Nonetheless, it's beer. Beck 0%. But, so we're going to close it off, but, it says, because I listen to my own music and my longer stuff is honestly something I can't listen to often. Any experimentation, good in my book. Yeah, 100%. Just try stuff. I think that's the funnest part about music. Try stuff, see what happens. Any kind of art, not just music. And for me, my audience is, for me, the kind of stuff I can't put into words. Yeah, 100%. It's a lot easier to make music that is, I don't know, meaningful and authentic and all those sorts of things when you're just trying to satisfy yourself. If you're worried about being cool or fitting in or appeasing someone else, you'll probably make very terrible music. I have something to say that I can't find the words for, and I hope that the art I create can help someone else but me. Yeah, it probably can. This is something that many artists have done or seek to do. And so, yeah, I think it's a worthy goal. But I am going to shut her down here. I'm just going to double check this part. Oh, jeepers. It doesn't show me all the chat. Now it does. Damn. Okay. Nara Antler says, my jam for beers is mixing cider and lager. Yeah, I just put 0% Becks or Coronas into my gut. The Sun Brews, the 0% Coronas, they feel like you're drinking real man beers or whatever you want to call them. But they're 0%, and I don't destroy my mind for the next day. Ever since I switched to 0%, it's like things have been smoother. But I think mixing ciders with lager sounds like a fun party, and I think you should take it to the limit. Cathedral Sound, great advice, Bunn. Not really trying to give advice, but like just share a perspective. I always try to be clear on that. Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do or push anyone in any direction, but like I think there's just a lot of things to think about that may or may not be helpful or useful, or like a box that you've checked or not checked. And true self-confidence does not require the validation of others. Same applies to music. Yeah. I think we always have to remind ourselves of these sorts of things, you know. life likes to beat you down and make you forget things. Nar Antlers, thanks for the stream. Have a great night. Yeah, Nar Antlers, get those tracks together. I want to hear more tracks. Hopefully on the Bandcamp Friday, because yeah, you're ripped, dude. Anyway, I am out of here. What do we got? Sorry, I'm still technical window master here. I got so many windows open. Okay, cool. I am getting out of here. Have a good weekend, a good night. We will see you. We may or may not see you in July. Gonna play it by ear for July. You know, we got Canada Day, which is July 1st, and USA Day, or whatever the heck it's called, on July the 5th. That weekend is usually often coincides. I didn't look at it, but like, good chance there's going to be everybody's going to be doing stuff. So except for the Europeans, I don't know. Is there a July 1st weekend type of celebration in the Europes? I don't know. I don't know anything. But that's it. Getting out of here. I don't know where the button is. I see it. Gonna end the stream. So good night.